Welcome to the Slice Podcast, where I give you a slice of my mind. I'm your host, Christopher Martinez, and this is episode 29. It has been quite a while since I last have done a podcast. Let's check to see how long it's been since I've last done a podcast, because it's been quite a while. I've gotten lazy. I know it's a habit I got to break. I got to stop being lazy. And I got to start doing shit too. It's been since September of last year. So 7 months ish. That's bad. I like to talk, so I should just do this shit more often. There's always stuff happening in the movie news and stuff that I'd like to talk about. Go into more depth than what I do when I post stuff in my Instagram stories and stuff. Um, a lot of stuff has happened, and there's been a lot of things I've wanted to talk about for quite a while. But I want to keep this episode a little more concise because what I want to do with it today is I really want to use this as an excuse to talk about the 2026 movies that I never got a chance to talk about this year. I've talked about the Super Mario Galaxy and the Super Mario Galaxy movie and the drama, but I haven't made a video on anything else this year in terms of movie reviews. Like there's other stuff I want to talk about, like They Will Kill You, Hoppers, Normal, Exit 8. But there's more too. But with like separate contained videos, I want to talk about Nirvana the band, the show, the movie as its own video, and Project Hail Mary as its own video. Those have been my favorite movies I've seen this year. So I really want to dedicate like special videos for those. I will talk about other 2026 films I've seen this year. Maybe next time I'll talk about the 2025 films I never got around to talking about, like Wicked for Good, Predator, Badlands, a few others that I never got around to talk about for last year. But before we get into those movies, let's talk about some other movies. The 98th Academy Awards happened last month. Well, I guess close to 2 months ish now. Happened on back in March. Now it's May. Um, I was pretty satisfied with the Oscars this year. It wasn't like as exciteful as it has been the past few years. Conan was still a great host. The super funny stuff that he did this year. I don't think it was as funny as last year, but it was still very enjoyable. Um, and all that I wanted this year was for One Battle After Another to win Best Picture, and that's what happened. And I was very very happy that won. There's a few Oscars I wish were flipped around here and there, but we'll get to that. Watching the Oscars was a bitch though because um, I got new internet at my place, and I got the Verizon Home Internet Lite. It's not the 5G home internet. It's sort of like, I guess it's the 4G version of it, and I'm very satisfied with it, especially for the price I'm paying, especially for how many gigs I get a month, and especially for the perks that I got along with it. I got this add-on where you get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. I don't know if it's ESPN or ESPN Plus for just an additional $10 a month, and that's a steal. And I very much got some use out of that. I was able to watch some of the Best Picture winners, or some of the Best Picture nominees, through Hulu that way. The Secret Agent, I was able to watch that through Hulu, and I've talked about the Secret Agent before, but I very much enjoyed the that add-on because to get, I don't use ESPN. I do not give a shit about the ESPN thing. Like maybe I'll go check out a 30 for 30 every once in a while. Maybe I'll go, do that eventually. But to have Disney Plus and Hulu for $10 a month, I think that's a steal. The only sucky thing about it are the ads. I think the ads on Disney Plus are horrendous, especially for movies. I like what Peacock does. If you want to watch a movie, you watch ads at the beginning, and then the rest of the movie is uninterrupted. And I don't know what happens if you pause it or whatever. When I watched Hamnet and what's the other one? When I watched Hamnet and Begonia on Peacock when I was preparing for the my Oscars video, Um, you had to sit through like maybe a few minutes of ads in the beginning, and then the rest of the movie was uninterrupted. So I wish Disney Plus did that for movies. For shows, it's whatever. There's probably like 3 or 4 ads during shows on Disney, like the half hour shows, and I don't even want to think about how much it'll be during the hour long shows. But when I was watching Wonder Man, I want to talk about Wonder Man in a future video. The ads were kind of annoying, but like during the movies was hell. I was watching Toy Story 2 one day, and they came so frequently and they last so long. That's what's annoying about it the most. They last so long. I'd be fine with the ads if they didn't last so long. That's my issue with it. And they're all the same ads. That's what makes it even more annoying. There's no variety in it. Anyways, back to the yeah. So I thought they were doing it through Hulu, and I thought I was able to get that through my plan to watch the Oscars. But either I didn't see it correctly, or they really weren't offering it through my subscription like plan through Verizon, because I don't have Hulu Live TV. That's its own separate thing, but they do offer the ability to watch some live things. Like I was able to watch a little bit of the NFL draft the other day. So, anyways, I got like Fubo or something for like I just got it for a day, then I canceled it the day after just so I can see it. At least the Oscars is going to be able to be streamed on YouTube in a few years, so that's going to be cool. So, you can just watch it for free without having to subscribe to any of this other bullshit. And hopefully, they can keep that up without any big issues. Anyways, back to the Oscars. I just want to go over the awards, the categories, and just like give my quick thoughts on them. If you see my Oscars video, you know what my locks were for certain categories. Anyways, I'm just going on the Wikipedia, and I'm just gonna go one by one how they are shown first. So Best Picture was between One Battle After Another, Bugonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. And One Battle After Another won, and that was my most desired outcome. I love that movie. I think it's phenomenal. And if you've seen my Oscars video, you know how much I love One Battle After Another. Best Director went to Paul Thomas Anderson, and that was my lock as well. I thought it would have been cool if Ryan Coogler won, just because you can feel how much like control he had over that movie. But I think One Battle After Another was just like the movie to win all of the Oscars. That was my most desired outcome. Um, yeah. Joaquin Trier for Sentimental Value. I thought if he won, I would not have been upset about that, because I thought Sentimental Value was fantastic, and there's so many intentional choices in the framing and editing that makes you think that okay, this was done by a director who knows what he's doing. So if that happened, I wouldn't have been upset, but I really wanted PDA to win. Best Actor in a Leading Role went to Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. My desired outcome was either Timothée Chalamet or Leo for Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another. But I'm not upset with Michael B. Jordan winning. I thought it was really cool. But thinking back on it, and after I was watching Sinners again, I watched like the first 30 minutes or so a while back. I was like, okay, yeah, he's in this role. I really dig his performances in the movie. But I honestly thought Timothée Chalamet was robbed. I thought he should have won. But I'm not upset with Michael B. Jordan winning. He did a great job as well. But it was Tim Cham or Leo. That was my desired outcome, because I thought they were so into their roles, and they definitely made their respective movies. Actress in a leading role went to Jessie Buckley, and that I really did not want that to happen. I really wish Renate Reinsve won for Sentimental Value, because I thought she was stunning, and it was an extremely heartbreaking movie to watch and very bittersweet. Hamnet I thought was just super sappy and just way too overindulgent and self-masturbatory. I like the presentation of the movie in terms of like some directing choices and some framing and some camera movements. I thought Chloe Zhao made a great looking film. I just wasn't invested in the movie. I thought it was just too sort of, nothing. Best actor in a supporting role went to Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. My desired outcome was a tie between him and Benicio del Toro, but Sean Penn was stunning. I wouldn't have minded if actually I wouldn't have minded if any of these nominees won. Jacob Elordi as the creature in Frankenstein, I thought he was phenomenal. Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim in Sinners, he was stunning. After watching the film, like the first 30 minutes a while back, I was thinking, oh shit, like, yeah, he's definitely in this character, and he's definitely having a great time, and he's just such an enjoyable character. So I would not have minded if he won. And Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, phenomenal, just a stunning performance there. But Sean Penn, I think, was like the best outcome for that, and he was stunning in that movie. Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Amy Madigan as Aunt Gladys from Weapons. Although I don't like Weapons, I thought she was actually extremely, extremely captivating in that performance because she has such a wide range of emotions, and she's just so captivating in that movie. Even though she has like the least amount of screen time out of all the nominees, I think, in this category. Tiana Taylor being there, even though she's only in like the first 40 minutes. I thought she was good, but I thought Chase Infinity should have been nominated over her. Wunmi Mosaku in Sinners, she was great. I don't think like nominee worthy great, but I still thought she had some great moments in that film. But the Sentimental Value noms, Elle Fanning and Inga Ip's daughter, Lilias, they were also really damn good too. So if either of those other actresses won, I really wouldn't have minded it. Maybe Tiana Taylor, just because I thought Chase Infinity was really damn good in the movie. But no, Amy Madigan, I don't like Weapons, but she was obviously, like, the cast in that movie is great. I have no issue with the cast in Sinners. I'm sorry, Weapons. I thought all the acting performances were great in Weapons, especially Amy Madigan. She is the obvious standout. All right, best writing original screenplay went to Sinners. The other nominees that I saw were Marty Supreme and Sentimental Value, so I thought Sentimental Value had a better screenplay, but I'm not upset with Sinners. Just because I really enjoyed Sinners. Marty Supreme, I would have very much enjoyed that winning, but I didn't see it. I didn't see the other nominees, that being Blue Moon or It Was Just an Accident. It Was Just an Accident I was very much looking forward to, but I still haven't got around to see it just because I heard so much about it. Best Writing Adapted Screenplay went to One Battle After Another. I don't really think I would have enjoyed the other nominees winning. Maybe Begonia, because I really like the screenplay for that movie, but One Battle After Another's there, obviously. Not Frankenstein, not Hamnet, not Train Dreams. I like Train Dreams much more. Not much more. I like Train Dreams quite a bit, but One Battle After Another, come on. Animated feature film. This was my most upset that I was all night. Or I guess second most upset, because K-pop Demon Hunters won, and I really don't like K-pop Demon Hunters. The animation, of course, is stunning. Action sequences are really fun and enjoyable in the film, but in the same year there was Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze Arc, and the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie. Those two were the obvious standouts of the year that should have been nominated, but it wasn't on Netflix, so it wasn't as big of a hit, I guess. I guess more people watched K-pop Demon Hunters. Just a whatever movie to me. I really don't give a shit about it. Although, out of the nominees that were in there, Arco, I was looking forward to that, and didn't get around to it because the showings were kind of limited. When they were around. Elio, no. Little Amelie, I really wanted to watch it, didn't get around to it. Zootopia 2. So out of all these movies, I only saw Elio, K-pop, Demon Hunters, and Zootopia 2. I thought Zootopia 2 was really good. Like I really liked it, but sadly it went to K-pop Demon Hunters. Best international feature film went to Sentimental Value. I didn't see the other ones except The Secret Agent, but Sentimental Value was really damn good. Best documentary short. Didn't watch any of these. I don't watch documentaries all too much, so I'm skipping those. Live action shorts and animated feature shorts. I don't. I no. I did. I just never. I never get around to them. Who like? Where do you see these ads? Like just festivals, and whenever they show them at the theaters, like a week before the Oscars come out. Like I just never see an opportunity to watch them. Okay, best music original score. This was the most upset I was all night. It went to Sinners. The nominees were Sinners, Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, and One Battle After Another. And if you know me, my obvious lock was One Battle After Another. I thought it was such an interesting score that definitely enhanced the movie in the best way possible. It's one of my favorite scores. And Sinners has a great score. Ludwig Göransson is obviously a great composer, but I honestly believe that this was Johnny Greenwood's award to lose this year. And he's a very, I believe he's a very underrated composer. He needs his Oscar. His score for Spencer is fantastic. And there's other scores of his that I really want to check out. But One Battle After Another was just it was such a captivating score. And there's so many interesting pieces. And like the piece called Trust Device, what I love most about it is that if you're listening to it with headphones on, I'm sure you can maybe pick it up if you're listening to it without headphones, but it's most notable with headphones on. So in the film, Leo's character has these trust devices where one device plays tune A, the other device plays tune B. So they have like their own little tunes they play, and then when they come together, they play like a song, a melody together. And if you're listening to the piece Trust Device with headphones on, one channel plays one of the devices and the other channel plays the other device. And I think it's so damn unique. And I thought that it should have won Best Score solely for that single piece right there. It's great. There's other parts of the song that aren't in the actual film. I've seen it about 3 times. But I still think it's a phenomenal score. So many great pieces, so many beautiful, tense, and just stressful parts in the film. Ocean Waves is like a piece that's played for like 20 minutes in the actual movie or so, 20 to 30 minutes, but in actuality, it's like a 3-minute song. Um, wow, just incredible. I really, really wish this film won Best Score, but it didn't. So what are you gonna do? It won Best Score in my heart. I think that's what's most important. um, Best Music Original Song. I honestly thought this was gonna go to Sinners, but no, it went to K-pop Demon Hunters for Golden. Just a whatever song to me. I guess it's all about being yourself or whatever. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I thought the song from Sinners was definitely gonna win. It's great. Um, Diane Warren, I don't know. Sweet Dreams from Viva Verdi, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a documentary. Okay, I don't know what that is. Train Dreams from Train Dreams. It's a nice sounding song, but I don't know. Best sound went to F1. I don't have a whole lot to say on this department. Um, yeah, yeah, it's cool that it won, but I don't know. I'm still upset that best sound editing and sound mixing aren't their own separate awards because they needed to make more room for Jimmy Kimmel jokes. But he's not doing it anymore, so can we please bring them back? Best casting went to One Battle After Another. I would have very much liked it if Marty Supreme won. I thought the casting in there was just really, really unique, especially because there's a lot of faces in there, a lot of like people you wouldn't expect to be actors. Kevin O'Leary, the guy with the golden voice, who did the mac and cheese commercials. No, they're not the same people. I'm just saying like comma and the guy who did the golden voice mac and cheese commercials from like a decade ago or so. Um, just a lot of interesting faces in the movie, and a lot of people I definitely didn't like recognize at first. Fran Drescher, Odessa Azion. I thought she was stunning in the film. Freaking Tyler the Creator. What the fuck? I saw him like, why the fuck is he in the movie? What? But he was definitely a great part of the movie, and it's just a freaky ass, insane trip of a film, and a lot of faces show up, and they're all great. There's like this old guy who's like super pissed off because his dog was lost by Marty. Um, I very much enjoy that the casting is here as its own category. Um, so yeah, but one battle after another, it won. Has a lot of great faces in it that definitely suit the characters. Everyone thought Sinners was gonna win. Like all the things here, I wouldn't have minded it. Hamnet, why the hell is Hamnet there? I mean, they got child actors who acted well. Okay, but I don't know. The Secret Agent, if that won, I wouldn't have minded it at all. I thought all the performances in Secret Agent were actually pretty damn good. And I haven't like really read up on the rules of what best casting really entails. Like, surely it can't be just the best performances, because if so, why isn't sentimental value there? All of the acting noms had sentimental value in there. Best supporting act, like all the stars in sentimental value, the main leads and the supporting leads all have noms. So I definitely thought sentimental value should have been there. It could have taken out You could have taken out Hammond and put sentimental value, but whatever. If Sinners won, I totally wouldn't have minded it. A lot of great faces in there. Production design went to Frankenstein, and I really don't know what else it could have gone to, just because of how grand Frankenstein looked with its set design. Um, Maybe one bat after another. After having seen it a few times, I'm really looking at all the details in the set, all the pictures put up, the sensei's dojo, his home. There's so many great set pieces there. Um, yeah, I thought Marty Supreme could have gotten it too, especially for the setting of where it takes place. But I'm pretty happy with Frankenstein getting it. Cinematography. Sometimes I hear myself say cinematography, and I really got to kick that cinematography. Think like cinematography. Best cinematography. There, I said it. Went to Sinners. I think all the noms there were very much well deserved. Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and especially Train Dreams. The first shot at Train Dreams definitely hooked me and made me think this is a fantastic looking film already. But I thought One Battle After Another should have won. But I'm not upset with Sinners winning. Sinners had some very interesting cinematography choices in there, especially with the whole two the two Michael B. Jordans there. They were able to capture both of them in the same shot in very seamless ways, and it never looks like there's like a double there with just his like with one of the Michael B. Jordan's heads cropped onto one of them. It always looked like they were just. It looked like they were two actual twins, like actual real life twins were there. So with Sinners winning that, I'm very not upset about that. I just wanted One Battle After Another to win, but it was a great win for Sinners. Best makeup and hairstyling went to Frankenstein, and this year was pretty insane. A lot of horror noms. I've heard a lot of great things about the makeup for Coco and the Ugly Stepsister, most especially. Sinners, there's definitely some great stuff there with the gore. The smashing machine, with what they did with The Rock. I thought it was great in there as well. Everyone was saying maybe Marty Supreme could have won too because like his acne scars and stuff. I thought that all like he transformed into a totally different looking person at points, I thought. But no, Frankenstein winning for the creature and like all that other stuff going on in there, I thought was a very well deserved win. Costume design, Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein came out with a lot of wins. Like a lot of wins I didn't expect. Um, yeah, or not that I didn't expect, but and not that I didn't expect it to win at least one, but I guess I was just happy because I was very much enjoying the production of Frankenstein. Probably my favorite aspect of the film outside of the score. But the other noms in there, Avatar, Fire and Ash, that was an interesting pick, especially since a lot of the characters are all 3D CGI creations going on. And what I thought was most interesting about that was they actually created the costumes in real life and was able to mess around with them to see how they would react to other elements and then have to animate that when they were creating the film. So, yeah, I think that could open the door to other costume design noms for other animated films, just like regular animated films without live action shit in it. So like Pixar and actual anime and 2D animated films, maybe they could get noms because there's costume design going on there as well. And there's a lot of great costume design in animated films. So hopefully that opens the door to that and gives animation more of a chance to be more than just an animated film that can be nominated for stuff that isn't just best animated stuff and sound. Maybe best acting, voice acting could be a category maybe. Yeah, the other noms, Hamnet, because it's a peace movie. It's a time period movie. Marty Supreme, I would have liked. Sinners, I would have liked as well, but went to Frankenstein. And we got best film editing, one battle after another. I mean, what do you expect? That was my most desired outcome. And best visual effects, of course, went to Avatar, Fire and Ash. I was very surprised that there wasn't Fantastic Four, The First Steps, and Superman, most especially. I thought there were some really damn good looking special effects moments in those films. Most especially Fantastic Four. Maybe they're trying to push away from all the superhero action slop like that, but then why have Jurassic World Rebirth there? Great special effects in there, but I don't think it stood anything close to Superman or Fantastic Four, the detail in both of those films. But it's an Avatar movie. They look extremely stunning. What do you expect? Come on. And yeah, those are the awards for the Oscars. I was very satisfied with the Oscars this year. Most especially because one battle after another won. That was my most desired outcome. I don't know, that's what had to win for me. One battle after another it was the movie I wanted to win the most. It was the most excited I've been for a best picture like nom to win. I was very satisfied with the way the Oscars went this year because of one battle after another. That was my most desired outcome for most every Oscar nom, I thought, especially score, but it didn't win. But it ended up coming out with 6 of the wins. Sinners coming out with 4, Frankenstein with 3, and K-pop Demon Hunters with 2. Now that's insane. Those are the movies that won multiple noms. That had multiple wins. That's crazy. But yeah, I was just excited that it was just a pretty good Oscars this year. Not a lot of crazy shit happened. Great jokes here and there. I'd like to go back and just watch some of the moments, but yeah. Here's to the next year of film. I'm not going to get to my 2026 films just yet, though. I mean, if you want to skip to that, go ahead, but because I have other topics I want to talk about. Okay, here's a big one. Getting into One Piece, the anime. A while back, my girlfriend started watching the live action version of One Piece on Netflix. And One Piece was always an anime that I thought, okay, I will get to this eventually because there are over 1,000 episodes of this goddamn anime that's been going on for like 20 some years now. And I don't know if I will ever have the time to watch it until I'm like a very old man who has nothing else to do with his life except watch anime. So my girlfriend started watching it and she was very much enjoying it, the live action Netflix version at least. And one day she started watching the anime. and it became her entirely new obsession. And I watched a few episodes with her, and I thought, okay, this is pretty fun and goofy and wacky and just, it's fun. What can I say about it? I watched a few episodes here and there with her, and I was having a good time. And what we did for our anniversary this year was we went to the One Piece Cafe in Los Angeles. It's not just a pop up, it is a permanent location. And you see videos online about how busy it gets and get there early, yada yada. But we went and we didn't wait long at all. We like basically just walked in through the door, waited like maybe a minute or two before we were able to order, and we got quite a bit of food. Let me see if I have a picture of it actually, because we got quite a bit of food, and I very much wanted to get a lot of food from there. We got some drinks. I can't remember what they were, but they have these. Oh, hold on, actually, real quick. I don't know if you could hear this as I'm walking, but they have these. If you order the drinks, they have these cups. Yeah, look at this. They have like these little plastic cups. It just says One Piece Cafe on it. It has all the characters. I don't know if you can see that there. It has like Chopper, Robin, Usopp, Nami, uh, Luffy, Chopper. I'm sure I said Chopper before. Sanji. Yeah, has and more characters that I haven't gotten to yet. Oh, Zoro too. Zoro's cool. Um, so yeah, I it's just a cool little thing to have that I just think it's cool. So I have that. What did we get in terms of food though? We got some fried rice. I really wanted takoyaki, so I got takoyaki. We got some katsu, and what else did we get? I think that was it. Oh, we got these. We got some onigiri. That was great too, and the drinks we got were pretty good. So, after having seen a few episodes with her, after having gone to the One Piece Cafe, and especially after seeing the character Chopper, I really, really wanted to watch One Piece. So I did. Earlier this week, or I think late last week, early this week, I started watching One Piece, and I finished 6 episodes as of now. And right now they're fighting this clown pirate named Captain Buggy. And right now it is just Luffy, Nami, and Zoro. And I'm very excited to keep watching more because it is an over 1,000 long episode anime with I think a few movies. I know there's one, but I don't know how many more there are. And I very much enjoy what I've seen of it. And yeah, it's early animation. It's from the 90s, and it's not gonna be super extremely fluid fight scenes, but what there is, it's very fun and enjoyable, and very funny. I find myself laughing quite a bit. And I very much enjoy Luffy as a character. He's just this happy-go-lucky pirate who wants to become king of the pirates to find the One Piece. The goal of the One Piece anime is that there is this ultimate treasure called the One Piece that no one knows what it is because this pirate who was executed left behind all of the treasures that anyone could ever want in this very specific location. So all of the pirates in the world are trying to find it, and it is called the One Piece, and no one knows what it is. And people are kind of upset that it's taken so long to find out what it is and how come they haven't gotten there yet and yada yada yada. And I don't know, maybe they've got it, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's an end in sight just yet. Maybe they're in the, I think there's rumors that they're in like the final section in the manga and stuff, but it's going to take a long time to get to that. And I'm not rushing to finish this in like a month or so. Because apparently, if you watch episode after episode after episode without stopping, it takes like 18 days. I think I'm okay with maybe just 1 episode a day, 2 episodes a day. Maybe if I have more time, a few, like maybe like 3 or 4 episodes a day. Um, but as of now, I'm enjoying One Piece. Um, Even the episodes I've seen with my girlfriend, I was actually giving her some trivia because One Piece, when it was being dubbed for American audiences, was done by 4 Kids, and I got to the very episode that I noticed, or that I found out that the 4 Kids dub ended, and the next episode that aired on Cartoon Network was like the new team that took over. That ended up like redoing everything up until that point as well. But when it was airing on Cartoon Network, it ended with the 4 Kids dub and then started with the new dub. So I told my girlfriend, "Oh, I said, oh crap, this is that episode that you're on. Here, let me show you the old voices compared to the new voices." And it's pretty jarring and wacky to see. And I'm glad that we're in an era where we don't have weird localization, because like the original 4 Kids dub had like instead of characters smoking cigarettes, they had lollipops in their mouths, and instead of like actual guns, it was like those suction cup dart things, you know, just like wacky guns and stuff. I'm just glad we don't live in that era anymore, and that we can just watch anime localized, and it be almost 1-to-1 of a translation. Maybe just a few things here and there, sort of tweaked. But I'm watching it as a dub, and I'm very much enjoying it as a dub. The way I decide how I watch anime in dub or sub just depends. If it's like a new anime coming out, I'll watch the sub. With very few exceptions, that being Konosuba. I was introduced to that through the dub because I've seen just posts here and there saying, "Oh, it's a funny anime," and the dub makes it much more funny. And it's very funny both ways, both sub and dub. But I just think hearing it in an English tongue is more funny to me, with all the wacky antics that they have going on in that anime. I love Konosuba. Um, and like current anime films coming out, like Suzume that came out a few years ago. I watched it in theaters sub, and then when I got it at home, I picked up a physical copy of it on Steelbook. I watched that as a dub, and I go back and forth on it. I think they're both equally great, sub and dub, for the film Suzume. And a silent voice, I think it translates over very well. But so when I watch a silent voice, I prefer to watch it dub. But for sorry, real quick, older animes. Like, let's say I get back into watching Cowboy Bebop. I will watch that as a dub because that's how I was first introduced to it. Naruto, I watched that as a dub. I didn't finish it, of course. That's a long one as well. I haven't watched Naruto in a few years. Like I was starting it, and I probably got like to maybe 50 episodes. I can't remember. Dragon Ball, I watched when I was watching Dragon Ball. Like I never started it from the beginning. I was just watching episodes here and there as they were shown on TV, and when I was watching them on YouTube, in like, oh, Dragon Ball episode blank part whatever. I was a kid. I did that. I was watching it like that, and I was watching it as a dub. Um, when I was in like eighth grade or so, when I was like watching some anime stuff. Like I watched the first episode of like Dead Man Wonderland. I watched that as a sub. It just depends on how I'm introduced. Sailor Moon, I was watching that as a dub. I was like eighth grade, maybe freshman in high school. I was like, oh, what's this funny anime looking thing? All the Ghibli films I watched dub. I've never seen a Ghibli movie sub. I want to though, one day. What else? What other? Death Note, I'm watching as a sub. I think it just depends. Like if I grew up with an anime, like seeing it, I will most likely watch it dub. Like if I saw it on Toonami growing up, if I saw it on Cartoon Network as a dub, I'll most like Pokemon. I'll always watch Pokemon as a dub. um, but One Piece, I'm sure the dub, like the new current dub, is accurate enough, and that's how I was introduced to it, and that's how I'm gonna watch it. If it wasn't for my girlfriend, I'm sure I'd be watching it sub, but I'm enjoying the dub. And I'm sure I would have watched the dub either way, if it wasn't for my girlfriend or not. But I'm enjoying what I've seen of One Piece. I really like it, and I can't wait to watch more of it. Just because from what I've seen of the show, um, like my girlfriend is like a few hundred episodes in, I think, and I'm only six. But I've seen some. I've seen like maybe I'll say I've probably seen like 8 episodes with her, like scattered throughout. I'm very much just looking forward to seeing Chopper. I love Chopper. He's a little deer guy who can talk, and he's a doctor, and he's just really fucking hysterical to me. I just can't wait to watch that. But I gotta watch 80 episodes to get to him. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm just what's kind of gonna bother me is not so much filler, but the pacing. You see all these memes about One Piece pacing where it's just characters doing the same action, and it's just shot after shot after shot after shot of characters in the same action, um, just being shown for long periods of time and not much happening. And a lot of people are saying that was done because they didn't want to catch up to the manga too quick and then have long gaps in between anime episodes. But I'm very much enjoying One Piece. I think it's funny. Um, and I can't wait for it to get more serious, and I can't wait for more of the crew to show up because right now it's just Nami, Zoro, and Luffy. I can't wait for like Sanji. I know he comes in like maybe 20 episodes in or something. I can't wait for Robin, and I can't most especially wait for Chopper. So yeah, that's my experience with One Piece as of now. I'm very much looking forward to watching more of it. A little bit of a sidetrack. I wanted to talk about sports, more specifically baseball, because baseball's starting right now, or it has started. It's been going on for just about a month now, and I follow the A's. I'm so sorry if you hear that. Anyways, my baseball team, I grew up watching the A's, the Oakland Athletics. And right now they're playing in Sacramento, and they're going to be playing in Las Vegas once that stadium is finished. And I will never, ever refer to them as the Las Vegas Athletics, much like the Las Vegas Raiders. You know, they will always be the Oakland Raiders to me. And that kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? I don't understand the whole issue with the city and ownership and who has to fork over the money and who, whose contract expired. Well, is it the state? Is it the city's? Is it the city's? Is it the city of Oakland's fault or is it the ownership's fault? Like I don't understand all of that entirely. It could be both. It could be the owner. It could be the city. But unfortunately, they're playing in Sacramento as they have been for they started their last season. I think 2025 was the first season they started doing it. I just want to be sure. Let me see. 2025. Yep. 2025 was their first season playing in Sacramento at Sutter Health Park. A very weird park because there is no outfield seats. It's like a college baseball park, I think, or it's where I think it's a college baseball park. Like one of the teams that the A's like own or something. I don't know, but um last year wasn't so hot. Although there was like a brief moment where the A's were like 20-20, it was like, oh my god, the A's are actually pretty good. They look pretty good, and then it just went downhill. But this year was interesting because it didn't start out so hot, and then the batch just started cracking, and we started winning, and right now we're leading first place in the AL West, and we're one of the few teams in the AL who has a winning record. I'll look at that later. Actually, let's check it out right now. MLB standings. As of now, there are only 5 teams with a winning record in the AL, and the A's are one of them, leading the West at 17-15. We just lost last night to the Guardians in a very, very sad way. I'll get to that in a bit. And me coming from Northern California, I don't know why they call it Northern California. Stockton is right smack dab in the middle of California. Why is that considered Northern California? That's so bizarre to me. Northern California is like up where all the mountains are and shit. You know? Why is Sacramento considered Northern California? Like if you look at a map of California, Sacramento is like, okay, I guess it's just above the northern line of, if you were to cut California in half from top to bottom, I guess Sacramento is just above that line. But Stockton, why is Stockton still considered Northern California? That's stupid. And Oakland and San Francisco, but whatever. That's not the point. But anyways, me growing up in Northern California, of course, I grew up a hatred with against. I grew up a hatred. I grew a hatred towards the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's tough being a Dodgers hater down here. It's so tough being a Dodgers hater down here, especially since they have all this money that they can buy all these players, and you know. But that's not the point. Anyways, I wanna go over the games that we've had so far this season, and you know, just say how my team has been doing this year, because it's the most excited that I've been from any sports team of mine in quite a while. I'm so sorry if you have to hear that. So, we started off the season 0-4. We lost 3 straight in a row to the Blue Jays. In very close games, might I have you. We lost 3-2, then we lost 8-7 in extra innings, and then 5-2. And from the looks of it, our bats could crack. You know, we could get the bases loaded pretty quickly. We could get runners on bases, but our bullpen was just an issue. You know, it was very troubling. Then we lost to the Braves 0-4. Oh, 4-0. We lost to the Braves, and then our record was 0-4. Then we got our first win against the Braves, 5-2. We lost to the Braves, and then we came home for the first time to play the Astros in a 3-game series in which we took 2 of 3. We won the first game 11-4, then we lost the next game 11-0, and then we won the next game 12-10. Our record was 3-6 at that point, and then this is when things started to turn around. We went over to New York for 6 games, 3 against the Yankees, 3 against the Mets. And we lost the first game against the Yankees, and then we won 5 in a row, 2 against the Yankees, 3 against the Mets. And we got our record turned around to 8-7 to become just over 800 for the first time all season, and in quite a while, actually. And I find solace in the fact that we were part of the very beginning of the Mets and their losing streak. I don't know if they're still on their losing streak right now. Hold on. I'm going to take a quick detour real quick, because it was pretty funny seeing the Mets go on this losing streak. And I saw this guy on Instagram who's like a Mets fan who just gets pissed off at his team. And it was pretty funny. Let me see. Let's see. Because they didn't start losing until like the day before they played the A's. Let me see. Okay. They lost to the Diamondbacks, or they beat the Diamondbacks, and they lost to the Diamondbacks 2 times. Then got swept by the A's. Then got swept by the Dodgers. Then got swept by the Cubs. And then lost to the Twins once. And then they beat the Twins. And then again. Then got swept by the Rockies. Okay, so they had a weird losing streak of, I don't know. I wasn't counting. Let me check real quick. They had a losing streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. They had a losing streak of 12 games. And I find solace in the fact that we were amongst the beginning of that. So that was really funny to see. So yeah, the A's were 8-7. Then we came home to play the Rangers, lost 8-1 in a very, very sad game. Then we won the next two, 2-1 and 6-5. Then we were 10-8. And then lost 6-9 against the Rangers to split the series in half. Then we played the White Sox for 3 games. We only won one. Then we played the Mariners for 3 games, won 2 out of 3. Played the Rangers for 3 games, won 2 out of 3. Then we played the Royals for 3 games, won 2 out of 3. And then just last night we played the Guardians for a 3 game. We're playing the Guardians for 3 games. We lost the first game. I want to look at the stats for that in a sec. But as of now, the A's are 17-15. We haven't gone under 500 since we got back to 500, 7-7. We haven't gone back under 500 since. We've gotten close to 500 at 10-10, 11-11. But you know what? I'm very, very happy with my A's team right now. We got a lot of star players. We got some big names there that I wouldn't expect of my Athletics to have. We got Nick Kurtz, Tyler Soderstrom, Jeff McNeil, Shea Langoliers, Lawrence Butler, and Denzel Clark. They haven't been doing so hot hitting lately, but they're great outfielders. Lawrence Butler, I think Lawrence Butler just had like a 2-3 run homer the other day, which was pretty cool to see. I was just thinking, like, man, this guy's got to do something. His batting average is like 180 something. He's got to do this with like a few runners on. Then he knocked that ball out of the park. He looked like he swung inside. I was like, wow, just that's what I wanted to see from my team. Yeah, let's talk about just last night's game real quick because it started. We got 2 runs in the first inning. Then the Guardians tied it at 2. Then we scored 2 more runs. Then the Guardians scored 3 more runs. Then the Guardians scored 3 more runs again. Then we scored 1 run. But we had multiple moments. We had bases loaded, and we didn't do shit with it. We got 1 run out of it, out of having bases loaded multiple times. Yeah, there was a weird moment earlier in this year where our bats were cracking when we only had 2 outs. No other time were our bats cracking except when we had 2 outs. It was a weird thing to see, especially this early on in the season. I don't know if you hear all the madness outside, sirens and chickens and cars revving and stuff. It's a nut house down here in LA. But yeah, Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Cortez, Hernandez. We've got a lot of great players, a lot of great bats. Our issue is the bullpen. Like our starting pitcher can do either hot or not hot, and then our bullpen will either blow it or save us if it's like really late in the game. But our bullpen has been kind of lackluster to see, especially if we have a lead and they blow it. So yeah, our pitching is inconsistent, but our batting, I think, is definitely our saving grace. Because there's no reason you score 5 runs and still lose a game. There should be no reason you score 5 runs and still lose a game. Yeah. What the hell? But I'm excited to watch my baseball team, most especially because, and I don't know if this is a new thing that the MLB or singular baseball teams are doing, but I was looking up how to watch A's games. Do I bite the bullet and pay $70 a month for Hulu Live TV, or is there other streaming avenues? And I saw that each individual team, or if you get a whole package, offers either $20 a month or $30 a month to watch. Yeah, I got the $20 a month to watch every single baseball game for your team for $20 a month. No blackouts, nothing. And I think that is a kick-ass service. But if you kick up another $10 a month for $30 a month, you can watch every single baseball team that they're every single baseball game every single day for the regular season. I think it only works for the regular season. I think that is such a cool idea, and I really hope that gets implemented into other sports. But the NFL is so money hungry crap. They'll keep doing this YouTube TV crap forever. You pay like $300 a season or whatever, and still some games are blacked out because local licensing crap, whatever. I hate all this streaming, licensing, direct TV, YouTube, whatever crap. But this is such an easy way to watch baseball for me. And I wish I knew this was a thing. If this was a thing before, like last year or the year before, I wish I knew it because I would have been watching more baseball. Because I love watching baseball. I forgot how much I loved watching baseball. It's great. It's kind of hard to watch other teams because I don't follow other teams. It's kind of hard to follow other teams when there's 162 games played in a baseball season, a regular baseball season. So unless your team isn't playing a day, you might as well go watch another team. And in our case, it was always whatever was on locally, like back when we had like direct TV and crap. Whatever was on locally, like the Giants, or if we could watch like the Yankees or whatever. So to be able to watch every single A's game for this season for just $20 a month, I think it is a steal. You can watch the pregame stuff and the postgame stuff. And I think you also have the option to listen to the radio stuff too. So I think that's a really cool deal for just $20 a month right there. That is so worth it. And I could watch it on my phone. I could watch it on my laptop, on my TV. And I've mostly watched it on my phone. Like if there's a day game, I put it on my phone and I listen to it while I do work. Or while I come home from work on the bus. Or when I'm taking the bus or train somewhere else. And then when I come home, I put it on my TV. And it's just so cool. Like, I love baseball. I loved it as a kid. I loved watching it. I remember being so into it as a kid. I loved watching it. I loved playing it. And especially when my team was doing good in like 2012, the early 2010s, you know, it was like a dream come true that we were like, I remember we rushed home to watch the baseball game. Or I remember like growing up, if we had like practice for something or if we had something else going on, getting picked up from school or whatever, we would turn the A's game on in the car, listen to it, rush home, and then hurry up to put it on the TV. Like we were so in, my whole family and I were so into baseball, just watching it. And then, you know, we started cutting the cord and then we didn't have direct TV, whatever. And then streaming took over and then having to deal with, that we're going to have live TV or whatever, yada, yada. And so over the years, I'd say since like 2018 onward, I wasn't so into baseball, especially since my A's weren't doing like so hot, you know. It's kind of hard to be into sports when your team isn't, you know, doing so hot, especially in a sport like baseball. So that made it a little difficult. And, you know, with the A's being who they are, we trade away our best players for like prospects, you know. I hated that, seeing all of our best players get traded to better teams for prospects. So yeah, that was a bite in the ass. um, and yeah, like during college, especially when I moved down here, I was like, how the hell do I watch baseball games? Where do I watch baseball games at? You know, like am I really gonna fork over $70 a month to watch baseball games on Hulu Live TV, whatever? And the way my internet works here, or worked here for a while, I didn't find it a viable option, especially with what I was doing early on when I first moved down here, with like my jobs and stuff. So I just like looked in on the scores, and if I was able to watch it on Hulu Live TV when they let you password share and all that crap, whatever. Before it became like a giant mess that it is now. I watched some A's games here and there, and it was fun. And at least I was able to watch some A's games down here when they were still the Oakland Athletics. I went to the Angel games a few times while they were still the Oakland Athletics. And yeah, their last game in Anaheim as the Oakland Athletics was a win, so that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, it was kind of sucky trying to figure out how to watch A's games. But with this new plan offered through MLB TV or whatever, $20 a month to watch your team, all games provided by your team. And so far, there hasn't been an issue with it in terms of like blackouts. Or I don't think there's any blackouts or whatever. So yeah, I'm just so happy that I'm able to do that, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to watch baseball. Okay, let's get into what I really wanted to do the whole time. I want to do a 2026 movie catch up. I want to talk about the 2026 films that I've seen this year. Some of them are labeled as 2025 because they premiered at festivals or were shown in other countries first. Exit 8 and Normal are those examples. But I'm counting them as 2026 because that's when they were like widely released here in the States, at least for me. And I recorded a video for this maybe like a week ago because I thought, okay, I'm going to make this video. I'm going to do what I usually do and talk about 8 movies and, download all the trailers and the posters and edit all my thoughts together and, go into super descriptive detail about everything. But I haven't seen a lot of those movies in quite a while. And so a lot of the time I just felt like I was rambling on and on and on. And after I recorded and after I put everything into Premiere, I'm like, I'm not okay with this. So I axed it, and I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm gonna talk about the 2026 films. Of course, there's not a lot of whole editing in the podcasts, so I'm just going to just sort of go over my quick thoughts on them and not go into super descriptive detail unless I feel like I need to, unless it's like a newer film that I saw. So let me look at the 2026 films on my list here. There is All You Need Is Kill, Send Help, 28 Days Later, The Bone Temple, Hoppers, They Will Kill You, Faces of Death, Normal, and there's one other movie. Why isn't it here? Exit 8. Okay. Uh, let's talk about All You Need Is Kill, directed by Kenichiro Akimoto. Um, the plot the plot description reads: when a massive alien flower known as Daryl unexpectedly erupts in a deadly event, unleashing monstrous creatures that decimate the population of Japan, Rita is caught in the destruction and killed. But then she wakes up again and again. Caught in an endless time loop, Rita must navigate the trauma and repetition of death until she crosses paths with Keiji, a young, shy man trapped in the same cycle. Together, they fight to break free from the loop and find meaning in the chaos around them. So, I read the plot description before going to see this movie. I saw this back in January, and I thought, "Oh, this sounds kind of cool. It sounds like that one movie with Tom Cruise, Live, Die, Repeat, or Edge of Tomorrow." Only to find out after watching this movie that Edge of Tomorrow was based on the manga that this movie is based on. All You Need Is Kill. So yeah, that was pretty trippy. This is an anime film, by the way. What did I like about the film? I thought the action was really cool. Whenever present, the animation is really damn cool. There's a lot of 3D animation going on with characters in these movements when they're in their mech suits or whenever they're running around and stuff. Or just more specifically when characters are moving. There's like I don't know if it's like 3D animation or if it's cell shading, um, to make it look more 2D in certain times, but I think the animation is just great all around, especially in the action sequences. What else? I thought the music was pretty cool for the most part, pretty intense. I like the dynamic between Rita and Keiji. I like when they meet with each other and they find out, oh crap, you're in this cycle too, and then they gotta find each other every single day. I like I like them having to learn over time what to avoid and how to overcome certain obstacles when they die, and then having to repeat their actions and then do the new thing to avoid dying, to keep going further and further, to figure out what's really going on, to figure out how to get out of this time loop. Like I said, it has been a while since I've seen it, so some things are kind of cloudy for me. Like think about it now. I really don't understand the point of like the Daryl alien life form thing, what it was really doing there, what it was spreading, and why they were going in time loops. One of the characters gets possessed by like evil forces. I don't remember why, but I remember it led to like cool action scenes. And I guess that's pretty much it. I did like seeing the characters die and having to repeat, go through the process, the Groundhog's Day. So I was like, oh, what? This happened already? I must be dreaming. And then when they realize they're in that time loop, they have to figure out what to do to avoid death. And they experiment with things. They experiment with trying to run away. They experiment with trying to upgrade these mechanical suits that they use because they're like mining Daryl, the alien entity thing. They're mining him and like breaking him apart and like this like learning about him and stuff and just breaking off the stuff that extends out of him that's going to cities and stuff. So I like when they have to upgrade their suits to use the different weapons and stuff. It's really inventive, and I think they take that concept to a pretty far level. I just had a really good time with All You Need Is Kill. I'd very much like to watch it again. I had a lot of fun with it, and I highly recommend it. I'm stuck between a B and a B plus. So I'll just keep it at that. I gave it a 4 star on Letterboxd, but I'll keep it between a B and a B plus. Next, we have Send Help, directed by Sam Raimi. The plot description reads: two colleagues become stranded on a deserted island, the only survivors of a plane crash. On the island, they must overcome past grievances and work together to survive, but ultimately, it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. The two colleagues are Linda, portrayed by Rachel McAdams, and her boss Bradley, portrayed by Dylan O'Brien. Um, Bradley's father passed away, so he took over this company that they work at, and Linda was supposed to get a promotion, but Bradley is an asshole, and he's like, "No, I don't like the way you carry yourself, so you're not getting that promotion. Sorry, I'm giving it to one of my bros, one of my tech bros." And then they crash on an island. Everyone else died except those two. But unbeknownst to Dylan, Linda is actually a survival expert, and it's kind of shown to us even before it's shown to us with through a video. Like she watches survival show, she has survival books in her house, and yeah, it's just pretty fun to see. Like all the small little details like that get built up, especially when we see like a video of Linda auditioning for a survival show, and like everyone's laughing at her about it. And I do like aspects of this film that involve, oh, you made fun of me, well fuck you, I'm not gonna help you out, I'm gonna survive for me and not you, so fuck you. um I liked it a lot. I thought it was fun. A few goofy moments, intentionally goofy. I wish I enjoyed it. I wish it was more out there though. In the beginning, there's like some intense close-up shots of like certain things. Like Linda has like some food in her teeth or some food in the corner of her mouth, and it's like a big distracting point as to why Dylan doesn't want to hire her and stuff. And and then it gets on him, and he's like, "What is this?" He talks to like guys, what is this? And the more extreme close-up shots, and then doesn't happen for the rest of the movie. It's only in like the first act. So I thought it was like kind of a tonal whiplash, I guess. I wish there was more of that throughout the film, but with it being a Sam Raimi film and all, there are some interesting aspects involving horror and stuff. And I want to say this right here now. The only Sam Raimi films I've seen are his superhero movies, his Spider-Man films, and the Doctor Strange movie. I haven't seen like Drag Me to Hell or the Evil Dead, not the Evil Dead, the Army of Darkness, and the Evil Dead movies stuff. I haven't seen any of those, and his other works. So yeah, do with that what you will. I really want to. So this is kind of fun being like a Sam Raimi first for me outside of his superhero stuff. But I liked it. It was pretty goofy and funny and has some intense moments, and there's a very squeamish, disturbing scene in the film where there was some great sound design, and I was squirming in my seat. I felt uncomfortable, and it tells you to imagine what's going on. And my entire theater, you could feel how uncomfortable they were with their gasps, and you could feel everyone just just falling into their seat, feeling uncomfortable. So there are some definitely great tense moments in there. I want to talk about something real quick though. When this movie was making its way online after it came out, I don't think anyone talked about this very specific moment of course, our characters do not like each other in the beginning, but they grow a bond later on in the film. And some things happen where they betray each other's trusts and whatnot. And I think those are interesting aspects at play there. Some a little more dumb. I'm going to talk, I guess I'll talk a few spoilers here. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, just skip to the next, just skip to the next movie in the chapters down below. So 3, 2, 1, there's a warning if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you've seen it already though. So Bradley, is that his name? Yeah. Bradley poisons Linda with like either some fruit or some fish or whatever to like paralyze her. He's like, haha, fuck you. I'm gonna take the boat out into the ocean and leave you behind. Ha, fuck you. And then when it doesn't work, he's like, oh my god, I didn't mean to poison you. I didn't mean to like paralyze you and hurt you. I thought it would just stunned you for a bit. Which leads her to poison him and make him think that she's cutting his testicles, when in actuality she's just like gutting a rat, That was that squeamish moment I was talking about. Like she paralyzes him so he doesn't feel anything, but he's under the impression, and the audience is under the impression, that his testicles are being ripped open, when in actuality it's a rat. Great scene, like best scene in the movie. Either he didn't mean to like affect her as bad as he did by poisoning her, or he meant to kill her, because I guess it could go both ways. He was like, oh, I didn't mean to poison you that bad. I just wanted to stun you so I can get away. But then why even do that? Just escape on the boat in the middle of the night when she's asleep, But I guess it could also go the way of he meant to kill her because he just doesn't like her and just wants to escape. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. Just a few like CG elements. There's like a CG boar that looked kind of, not real. But like there's blood, like CG blood too. But the sequence is kind of fun. I just kind of wish there was like a puppet or something rather than just obvious looking CG. But the rest of the film is kind of fun. I like the choices that characters make, because they're not perfect. They're assholes. They do assholish things, but you understand their intent behind it. Especially the ending where it's revealed that Linda took supplies for, like the island that they're on has like this house on the other side of it. Linda tells Bradley, don't go over there because it's full of all this poisonous shit. But there's an actual house over there that she took shit from, like knives and stuff. And it was a kind of funny reveal. It was a pretty shocking and interesting twist and reveal. Um, it didn't like make anything less in the film. It led to a pretty fun climactic battle at the end between Bradley and Linda, where Linda basically just fucking whacks his head off with a golf club, and it has a cool uh, editing shot to her swinging a golf ball, you know. But with like the ending where like he's like digging his thumb into her eye, like into her eye socket, I thought she'd have like more damage to her face. Because in the end, she's all like, "Oh, I'm just normal looking, beautiful girl," and also, someone pointed it out to me that I didn't really notice until he said it to me. Um, it does the whole trope of the dorky looking girl who does a scene transformation and she looks super beautiful, but when you're on an island without like conditioner and shampoo and shit, um, how do you look this good? You know, I mean, I guess that could be, you know, that could be said it was done through her going to the house, but we don't see her going to the house for shampoo and conditioner and shit. She's taken a regular bath in a waterfall without that stuff, and she looks at herself in the water and goes, "Oh my god, look at me! I'm so pretty. Finally, I look beautiful and stunning." So like, I thought we were past that stuff. You know, I thought we were past that whole fucking One Woman 84 fucking old ass movie trope crap. Oh my god, I was the dorky girl, but now I look super hot and sexy and smoking. And my hair is totally not fucking frizzy and knotted up here in the wilderness. You know, there's no shampoo or conditioner and stuff. I don't think she was applying anything to her hair that she made in the wild. But that's neither here nor there. I enjoyed the film. It was pretty fun and goofy. On my letterboxed, I said Triangle of Sadness 2 Electric Boogaloo. And that's the only thing I said on my review. I'm giving this film a B. I liked it a lot. It was pretty fun. I'd like to watch it again. I thought my girlfriend wouldn't like it because of the squeamish scenes in it, but she enjoyed it too. We saw it separately. Next, let's talk about 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta. Now, I like 28 Years Later. I'm not in love with it like everyone else was. I wasn't super excited for it. Like, oh my god, the return of 28 years, days, whatever. I was like, okay, cool, let's go check it out. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had my gripes with it. You can see my video about it if you want to see more about it. But I was intrigued by this film because the director was Nia DaCosta, who I thought would have been in director jail because of her involvement with the Marvels as she directed that film. And I thought she did a good job with that in terms of directing because the action sequences were pretty fun and engaging to watch, especially since a lot of it was hand-to-hand combat stuff. I haven't seen any of her other works. I didn't see her Candyman movie. I haven't seen anything else she's done outside of the Marvels. But with this film, I thought she did a damn good job. There was no gimmick like 28 years later where, oh, we're filming on an iPhone and you can see when it's super pixelated, when it's zoomed in. And so we can do that fucking da-da-da-da-da-da shot whenever a zombie dies. And, you know, it's like Matrix-esque, I guess. There's no gimmick shit like that. This is a much more contained movie where instead of three movies happening, one after another, there's two movies happening at the same time. And as time goes on, I'm feeling a little less about one of the subplots in this film, that being the Jimmy subplot with Spike. But then the other subplot just so makes up for it. The Dr. Kellen and the Samson subplot, Samson being the alpha zombie. I thought that was so interesting and unique, and I love what happens in that subplot. Spoilers for this movie. Yeah, skip to the next movie if you don't want to hear spoilers for this. That's your warning. 3, 2, 1. Not a damn person spoiled this movie. No one saw this movie. Not a damn spoiler was there for me because I stayed for the after credits, whatever, and there was fuck, what's his name from the first movie? Why can't I think of this? 28. Days later. Why can't I think of this fucking character? Jim, played by Cillian Murphy. That's right. And he has a daughter. He was in the fucking post-credit scene for this movie with his daughter, and that was not spoiled for me at all. That would have been a huge fucking spoiler thrown around Instagram and YouTube. But no one saw this movie because there was no spoilers because no one saw this movie. Fuck. The morning of when I went to go see Avengers Infinity War, the day it came out, I saw a spoiler that said and it had the image on YouTube of Thanos stabbing Iron Man, saying Thanos kills Iron Man. I was like, what the fuck? No. So I threw my phone out. I'm like, no, what the fuck? Like, I just woke up. It's like 6 a.m. What the fuck is that doing? You know, it was horseshit. But anyways, there were spoilers for that. There's no spoilers for this. So I was so surprised by that. Anyways, back to the actual movie. I really dug it because most especially because of the Kellen and Samson subplot. He's Kellen's this lonely guy with his bone temple, and he drugs Samson all the time so he can hang out with him and observe him. And then Samson speaks a word. You know, a zombie spoke a word instead of just going. Blah, 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 blah. He spoke a word. She's like, what the fuck? This is so cool. And he's trying to sort of rehabilitate him, you know, and all of that stuff, which is so fucking cool to see. I really dug the hell out of all that stuff, and just seeing Samson sort of regain his humanity. Not like there was a cure for it, not like he like invented a cure, but he just sort of turned him around, you know, to become human again. But he's still the zombie, but he's also human, and I'm sort of conflicted on this. Like, we get like POV shots from Samson where he like how he sees the world, but we don't see that after he like turns, I guess, sort of human again. Because then like once that happens, once he like turns around, all the zombies start attacking him. So I really want to know like how the zombies see him now, or how he sees them. I thought we could have seen that. Maybe we saw that. I don't remember. It's been a few months since I've seen it, of course. I just remember really liking that subplot most of all. And then when they cross paths with the Jimmy subplot, I thought was cool. And I thought they gave the Jimmy subplot more to do, because at the end of 28 years later, Spike joins the Jimmys, right? And I just don't give a shit about the Spike character at all. I really don't. What the fuck? He served his purpose already. What does he do in this film? I felt like we just could have seen the Jimmys just on their own. But he's only here for when they intersect with Dr. Kellen. That's it. But I like when they intersect, because Jimmy has his cult of Jimmys where they worship him, and he says like he's here to do the devil's bidding, whatever. Because like, how can there be a god if he lets all this stuff happen with all the zombies and crap, even though it's only happening in Europe? I like how just like that part of Europe is like this hellhole. The rest of the world just moved on. I think that's what's most funny when when you look back on this, because the rest of the world just fucking moved on, right? The zombies are only happening on this specific place in the world. So that's just kind of fun to see. But like Jimmy, he's just this cult asshole who manipulated all these other people he calls his Jimmys. Like different Jimmys, and Spike's one of the Jimmys. And him and this other girl Jimmy are all like, oh, we don't like all this evil stuff happening. Like, they find a group of people and they fucking skin them alive, basically. Which is, it's cool to see in a movie, like how fucked up it looks. Like the makeup all looks great. But I feel like it's just more of the same thing we got from the other movies. The zombies are evil, but humans are more evil. Look at what they're doing. But I think with that religious aspect of it, where he wears that upside down chain and stuff, like how could there be a god if he let all this stuff happen? Where his father was like super religious, and he was like, I think was a pastor, and he saw him get killed by all the zombies in the church. I thought all that stuff was cool and great. And it makes me like sort of appreciate that a little more. I had a buddy who said it was just like super boring. He just didn't care for it at all, which I could totally understand. But my issue is just Spike being there. Like, what purpose does Spike have in this except being the young, innocent guy who doesn't want to do all the evil stuff going on? Because there's also another young, innocent Jimmy in there who doesn't want to do all the evil stuff going on. He's just only there so Dr. Kellen recognizes him at the end and then tries to undo what Jimmy wants to do at the end. Because Jimmy, someone says they noticed Dr. Kellen. He's like, "Oh, is he the devil guy you're talking about?" He's like, yeah, sure he is." But Jimmy knows he's obviously lying. He's just doing this so he can control everyone around him. So it's like, "Hey, you gotta." He talks to Kellen like, "Hey, you gotta do this for me." And then yeah, that's basically it. Say that you're the devil guy or whatever. And it leads to this really cool sequence where Dr. Kellen puts on this like grand show and he plays like this Iron Maiden vinyl, right? And like a really fucking outlandish sequence that I thought was so rad to see. So yeah, I like that a lot. Um, yeah, and then just seeing the end of the movie with Kellen's death, Jimmy's death. Although there was a stupid jump scare at the end with Jimmy's death that I thought was like just really stupid and unnecessary. But whatever. I enjoyed this film a lot. It was really fun. Not as like exciting as 28 Days Later. There's like definitely a lot more stuff going on in that film. This one's more contained and focused. But that's what I like about it more. 28 Years Later was just, oh, here's movie one, and then here's movie two, and then here's movie three. They they're too different, and they all have different tones to them. With this film, it's just here's movie one and two, and they intersect, and it becomes something new at the end. That's what I liked about it. So I like it just a tad more than 28 Years Later. I'm giving this film 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, a B plus. Yeah, I'd very much like to watch it again. I just wish more people saw it, but at least we're getting that third film. So I'm looking forward to that. I have no idea what's going to happen. They filmed these back to back, apparently. That's why we got it so quickly after 28 Years Later. I just wish more people saw it because it kind of bombed at the box office. Okay, next let's talk about Hoppers, directed by Daniel Chong, who comes from the fame of having created the Cartoon Network show We Bare Bears. I've seen an episode here and there. I'm not super into it. I think I was a little tardy to the party, but my little sisters have seen a few episodes and I've watched it with them. They like it from what they've seen. I like it from what I've seen. I think it's kind of charming and simple. And this film is pretty charming as well. It's infectiously charming. The plot is scientists have discovered how to hop human consciousness into lifelike robotic animals, allowing people to communicate with animals as animals. Animal lover Mabel seizes an opportunity to use the technology, uncovering mysteries within the animal world beyond anything she could have imagined. And her Mabel in this film, she wants to figure out why the beavers and animals have left this specific pond area so she can bring them back to prevent a highway being built through it from the mayor named Jerry. And in it, she meets the beaver mammal king named George. And he's a pretty funny guy too. And I really, really, really liked this film. I thought it was super charming and cute and unexpectedly funny. It was funny as hell. I laughed my ass off throughout so many sequences, like really hard. There's a lot of shocking moments I did not expect to come out of a Pixar film, like as childish and goofy as it looked. When the film like started having like, oh, here's what it's about, and you know, a girl going into a beaver body. I'm like, oh, it's a beaver tar. I called it beaver tar. It's just. And they even make a joke like, oh, it's like Avatar. No, it's nothing like Avatar. It's exactly like Avatar. Kind of. But I at least like that we don't get the whole "you lied to us" moment in those kid movies and all those other movies and stuff. what I like about this, it's super cliche to say it's really damn good looking. Pixar makes stunning looking films in terms of details and animal movements and character movements, and especially with as cartoonish as this movie is, the human characters move in very cartoonish ways. It's really funny and it fits the animation style really well. Whereas the animation style looked so off for Elio, where the characters didn't look like they belonged in a Pixar movie. Like they looked detailed, but like their faces just looked so weird. And but with this film, I guess people have an issue with the way Pixar films have started looking. I guess in the whole COVID and post-COVID era, like the human characters, they just look so, you know, not like how they used to before. I guess Soul might have like the best looking animation in the COVID and post-COVID era, because like Soul looks stunning. And the human characters, like they look like they fit in a Pixar film, and Turning Red as well. But everything else doesn't really look Pixar-ish, I guess. But this film looks really damn good. And I like the style of the animals having their more cartoonish features when we're in their world, but when we're in the human world looking at the animals, they look, more animal-like. Instead of having like the cartoonish eyes, when we're in the human's perspective looking at them, they have regular beaver eyes and stuff. So that was pretty funny to see. And then like when Jerry becomes a beaver later on in the movie, when he takes over a beaver body, we know that he doesn't actually have that hair in the beaver body. But it's just funny to see, like, just as a visual representation for that, so we don't confuse him with other beavers and stuff, right? And especially since Mabel was able to have that expressiveness through the beaver in the beaver world, right? In the animal world. So seeing Jerry's characteristics thrown onto that beaver was pretty funny to see. Let's see. I don't remember a lot of the score, but I remember it being, good and enjoyable. The humor was the most shocking of all. Even like the jokes shown in the trailers were funny, but there's a lot of unexpected jokes in this film. A lot of shocking moments that I didn't expect at all. And I was like, did that just happen in a Pixar film? Like someone just died. Someone just died in this movie. Like not like Frozone dying in like that extremely gruesome way, but in an also like I guess somewhat shocking way like that too. Someone died. Like I didn't, but it was like it was played for laughs. It was really fucking funny. Like other Pixar films, it's pretty emotional at points, but I felt like the moments that it wanted to be emotional, like involving Mabel's backstory with her grandma, I feel like those moments didn't hit as much as they wanted to. I was more so hit with the ending, with Mabel's and George's relationship, and especially with how that turned out. That kind of hit me a little more. I like the bond that they grew, and I just really like their dynamic together, their goals, and how they go about their days, and especially with how it ends with those two characters. I just really dug that a lot. What else can I say? It was a really charming movie, and Pixar. I think Pixar just did it again. They made another damn good movie. I look back on Elio, and I don't like it as much as I thought I liked it the first time. But I think Pixar, if they can do this stuff, instead of all the sequel crap, Toy Story 5, Coco 2, Incredibles 3, what's next? Fucking Braver? Cars 4? Fucking... They're doing Monsters Inc. 2, or they're calling it Monsters Inc. 3, even though it should be Monsters Inc. 2 because Monsters University was a prequel. Whatever. Just stop with all this sequel shit, please. Make more original shit like this. But, advertise it. Because, you didn't advertise Elio and that bombed. I guess you advertised this a little more and it worked. because this actually made money. Elio didn't. What the fuck? So yeah, with Hoppers, I really liked it. I highly recommend it. I can't wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. I'm giving this a B plus. I really dug it. I want to watch it again. All right, let's take a weird let's take a weird detour and talk about a movie called They Will Kill You, directed by Kirill Sokolov. The I don't know how to really describe the plot for this movie because there's a lot of twists and turns to this, so I'm gonna do my best. Like it's funny because the advertisements for this movie was like, "We can't show you what's happening in this movie because everything's so fucked up and bloody and gory. So here's what we'll show you," and it's just characters like reacting to a lot of blood and stuff, going, "What the fuck?" But with this movie, there's this girl portrayed by Zazie Beetz named Asia. Is that right? Yes, Asia, portrayed by Zazie Beetz, gets a job as a housekeeper at this fancy hotel, but the people and guests and other people that work there are out to get her, but she's prepared to take them on with her own weapons and her own ulterior motives, countering their ulterior motives. That's all I can really say without spoiling it. And I don't want to spoil it. I've spoiled other movies. I don't want to spoil this one because there are a lot of cool, shocking twists and turns that I want you to experience for yourself. What I'll say is, I thought the action was all really cool and enjoyable. There are some moments where it feels a little too stiff or not as fluid as it could have been. Maybe a little too much slow motion here and there. And I guess there are some rules presented in this film that I wish they kept true to it just a little more. Like I'm thinking, like, should that have really have happened? You set this up before, like, everyone is a part of this thing, and should they really? I don't want to. That's for another time. But yeah, the action was all really enjoyable and fun, and most of it was fluid and creative, and just I love how bloody and violent it was. A lot of great makeup going on in here, and some pretty cool special effects going on here as well. I like the way the plot unraveled. I like how you never know what the fuck's going on until we get like a flashback that explains what's going on in the moment, right? There's like let's say something happens, right? Characters encounter someone, and then what the fuck? How did this happen? And then we get an explanation of why the characters are there or what's actually going on in this film. Because all these other characters in this hotel are trying to kill Asia, and Asia's prepared to kill them back. But there are a lot of other ulterior motives between every character in this film. So I just had a good time with it. It was really fun. A lot of great action, some fun humor, a lot of fun makeup stuff going on here. And I really like how the events unfolded and how there's shocking twists and turns all throughout that keep you on your toes and you're never sure what's happening. But I had a really fun time with it. I highly recommend it. I don't think it made a huge splash at the box office. I hope it's not a bomb, considering how small this film is, but how much it wanted to do. But I totally recommend it. I would watch this again. I'm giving They Will Kill You a B. Next, let's talk about Faces of Death, directed by Daniel Goldhaber. A woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. I feel like there could be more explanation to that. So, this girl, our main lead, Margot, she has to look at flagged content to see if it could stay on like this Instagram-esque site or not. This Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Insert social media page, replicant, right? She has to see whether or not it's okay to stay up. So she comes across these videos that look like executions. But she says, oh, they can stay on because it looks like it's fake. But as they get more and more attention, more of those videos start coming up. And she has to deem them as being able to stay on the site or not. And a lot of it has to do with obsession with social media and being sucked into this kind of stuff and just being shown all this fucked up shit online. Like, you don't know how many times I've tried to look up an Instagram video or whatever, and then I see the Charlie Kirk getting shot video, or I see people getting hit by cars and shit. How does that stuff say on this site? It's fucking weird. Like how is a president able to fucking how is Trump able to post a video of a woman getting brutally murdered by a hammer from some guy? How is that able to stay up online? What the fuck? So it plays into a lot of stuff like that, and our character Margot has to figure out if these videos are real or not. And the title of the movie, Faces of Death, comes from the actual film Faces of Death. I remember reading about this a long time ago, and I was talking to a friend of mine, like, "Hey, I'm sure you'd like this movie." He goes, "What? This old shock movies?" Like, no. It's sort of based on that, really. Like the videos made in this movie are inspired by that movie, and they actually allude to it in this movie. And if you don't know, the original Faces of Death movie was this uh, movie presented as a documentary about like these death videos, right? And people were worried if they were real or not. And it turns out that most of them were fake, except the ones of like actual police footage of people actually getting killed and stuff, or like archival footage like that. But I think most of the deaths in that movie are fake, or they were deemed as fake. But in this movie, our hero has to figure out if these videos are real or not as they get more and more attention. And what I want to say first and foremost about this before I get into any of my likes and dislikes about this movie is that I like that our main lead is a larger woman doing, and I like that she's not like a stereotypical, conventional, beautiful looking girl taking on this like low budget horror movie, right? I like that our main lead is a larger girl, and it really that's I think that's important that we can see people of all kinds of body shapes and stuff doing things that regular people can do, and she's not like running across buildings and stuff like that. She's just doing stuff a normal person would, looking shit up online, trying to figure out if the shit's real or not. And so I really hope this opens the door for like larger people getting roles that skinny people usually get and stuff like conventionally attractive people get. You know, um, I'm not saying this woman isn't conventionally attractive, but in the sort of eyes of other people, like there's certain groups of people like, oh, why do I want to look at like there's groups of people who get pissed off if their video game characters don't look attractive enough. Like what the fuck? So I'm sure they'd be upset about this, but I'm not. I like that our main character is portrayed by a larger woman. Okay, back to like critiquing this film. I like the presentation of it. I thought it looked pretty good. Looks sharp and crisp. I have no issue with the look of the film. Great lighting all throughout. A lot of great wonders that don't look cheap or student film esque because you can tell this is a lower budget film. And usually, when you look at the shots that are done in one take, um, you can look at it either two ways. One, they want to do a lot of creative stuff all throughout, or two, they don't got the time to set up a bunch of different shots of stuff happening at the same time. But with this, I thought it just worked well for the story and kept you engaged with everything going on. I thought it was all done great. I really liked the editing of this film, both within scenes and scene transitions. I thought they were really unique and captivating and kept me engaged in the film. Um, Good performances throughout the film, especially with our main leads. Like Charlie XCX is in the film, and I'm like, okay, she's just like this fucking, I guess, stoner character who eats sandwiches on roofs. I don't really think she was bad, but I'm like, what? um, I don't know. It was weird. And I didn't notice it was her until someone pointed it out. Like, what? That's her? Okay, I guess. I don't know. I want to check out her movie The Moment that came out earlier this year. But anyways, back to this movie. Like, not like the performances weren't like super amazing. They were just good. They were good. They were just good for this movie, and I thought they were great. Looks good. I like the subtext behind it. I like the meaning of it. Whereas people are just obsessed with all this media online bullshit. You know, oh my god, And you can hear people talking about it too in the movie. Like, oh my god, the guy's gonna post his next video up tonight. I can't wait to see it. And you got to really think about the audience watching it. Do they care if it's actual people happening or not? Because there's so much attention, and then it goes into the thought process of the people posting it. They want attention. They want the love. They don't do it for, like, some people do it for the money, some don't. But the main character doing it here, he wants it for the attention, and it goes into why he's doing it, his morals and his motives behind it. Um, so I thought it was pretty interesting. I dug it. I liked it. I would totally watch it again. I look forward to a rewatch, and I want more people to watch it because I thought it was really fun and enjoyable. And it came out of nowhere. I was just looking at movies coming out, and I'm like, oh, what is this? Faces of Death. I read the plot description. I barely saw any trailer footage. Like, okay, I'm gonna go see it because I'm intrigued by it, and I'm glad I watched it. It's pretty good. I would totally watch it again. I'm giving this film a B. Okay, we got two more films left. We're gonna talk about Normal, directed by Ben Wheatley. Hot Fuzz meets Nobody. That is the best plot description I can give you. But I'll just read this. Interim Sheriff Ulysses, played by Bob Odenkirk, called to the snowbound town of Normal, Minnesota, uncovers an international criminal conspiracy at the heart of the seemingly quaint whistle stop when he comes to the aid of a bank robbing couple caught up in a deadly mess. Um, I missed like the first 2 minutes or whatever. I missed maybe like the first 2, 3 minutes. But when I got to it, I was able to get the gist of what was going on. I liked it. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Really nothing more than that. There's like a theme of there is a theme in the film. I don't even remember what it was now. Something about letting your past haunt you, about choices you make. Um, I don't know. Was the action cool? For the most part, yeah. Was it at the heights of Nobody? No. This is definitely like a smaller budget Nobody. But Bob Odenkirk makes the difference. You know, he's just a great actor, so he pulls off a good performance in this and makes the film much more than it is. If it wasn't him in the film, I don't think it'd be as enjoyable. Um, yeah, you come to this movie for the action, and it serves its purpose, and that's kind of it. I would like to watch it again, but not for the action, but just to see if I can enjoy it as a whole. Because the action is the best part of the movie. There are some fun sequences, but a lot of it is just shooting guns at people. There are a few hand to hand fist combat moments here and there, but nowhere near the heights of a Nobody or a John Wick. Um, a lot of it is just, oh, we're shooting guns at each other from afar or throwing sticks of dynamite in this snow setting. Um, yeah, and there's a lot of things I wish they just continued on further. I'm going to spoil this movie, but whatever. So skip to the next chapter video if you don't want to hear spoilers for normal. Um, the whole plot of the film actually is there's a bank robbery going on, and they're actually trying to kill the sheriff because they don't want him to uncover the mystery of what's in the safe that the robbers are trying to get into, which is actually a bunch of gold bars that the Yakuza are actually hiding there, and they're holding the town hostage basically for their criminal activities. And Ulysses, the sheriff, is just all like, what the fuck? Why'd you guys shoot at me? All right, I'm gonna fucking kill you guys and try to get out of here with the bank robbers because they're actually good people. Um, so later on in the film, when he lets the he works teams up the bank robbers, and he's like, okay, get on this track and get out of here. They take a gold bar, to fight someone with, and they just take it with themselves, right? I thought it would have been cool if when the Yakuza, because they at the end of the movie they're like, okay, we got to clean up. Here's our only option left because the Yakuza are coming in, and they're gonna fuck up all of us, right? So let's just make it look like an accident happened at the bank, and the safety deposit in the vault is safe, right? So the Yakuza go there, they just look at the gold bars, and if they cause any trouble, it's planned with C4, and they all blow up and die if there's any trouble. but they don't count the gold bars. They just look at them and go, okay, everything's fine. I thought it would have been fun if they counted them to make sure it's all there, and they go, oh shit, something's up, and then they have a cool fight scene with C4 going off and a fun fight scene there. But it leads into a fun fight scene afterwards where they're sitting at dinner and someone pops champagne, but the cork hits a bunch of guns on the walls, and one of them kills the leader of the Yakuza there, and they all fight. And a pretty like fun action sequence where everyone's just shooting and fighting each other. Um, yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot to this movie. Like I wish I got more out of like the theme from the film. And I just wish the action was much more enjoyable and there's more to it because a lot of it just felt like we're shooting guns at each other from afar and punching each other sometimes. Yeah, I just wish there was more to it, but it was fun. It was for the most part. It served its purpose. I liked it. I'd like to watch it again though. I am giving Normal a B minus. And now let's talk about the final film that we'll be talking about today. Exit 8, directed by Genki Kawamura. It tells a story about this man who is trying to exit out of a subway terminal station, but he keeps going in this loop, right? He's trying to find exit 8, but he can't get out of exit. He can't get out of like the first section, right? In this level 0. So he sees a set of rules. You have to find anomalies, and if you find an anomaly in this section, go back. If you don't, go forward. And exit once you find exit 8, right? Um I didn't know this was based on an indie game called The Exit 8 until like maybe a minute before I sat down for the movie. I saw one of my friends in Letterboxd talk about it, and I was like, okay, I'll check this out. I saw this right after I saw Normal, and I really dug it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very creative and imaginative. I thought they took the concept of sort of groundhog's daying you in this very extreme short loop. I thought they took the idea of that very extensively, and not like you die when you not like you die and you wake up back at level 0, but if you fuck up, you go back to level 0. So I can imagine how hellish that could be for our main character. And the acting all around is great. It's a very small, contained movie. There's not a lot of set pieces there, but I thought it was just really imaginative, and the sets were great. The set is just the same station, the same area. So it's like the Big Bang Theory. You know how when they go up the stairs in the Big Bang Theory in the apartment, but it's just slightly different at each level to make it look like it's a different floor. It's like that basically, except it's the exact same every time you go through, but there's a like a slight difference, maybe like a doorknob's in the wrong place, or the poster, something wrong with the posters on the wall. So yeah, I really dug this movie. I think the acting all around is great. I don't want to say more so than I could already say, but our main lead, I thought he was really good and very convincing of this young man who's just pissed off at the situation that he's in. I could find it very frustrating. Like, wait, is that an anomaly or is this an anomaly? I don't understand why. I don't understand why this is an anomaly or why this isn't an anomaly. And the subtext of this film, I think, is the most interesting part that I will get to in a sec. Um, but it more so has to do with our main character's struggle with himself. Um, but yeah, I thought the Foley work was great. The footsteps of the character walking around and something else happening in the film. Like in like one, he has to look at like every time he goes through the section, there's a man walking through, and the footsteps. It just sounds great, you know, especially the way it echoes throughout as he gets closer to the camera, as he gets further away from the camera, as he walks past it. I thought that was just a fun detail, like there's a nice, well executed detail that they kept consistent throughout. Um, Not much more to say except that it was very imaginative and it took the idea of that pretty far. What I want to talk about is a subtext, though. I had a friend say something about how there are a lot of anomalies in our life that we have to notice, and whether or not we can push past them, or whether or not we just go back on it. I actually want to look at his letterbox review real quick. Let me find it. His review states, "Life is full of anomalies. What matters are the decisions you make because of them. I found this to be quite effective in how it invites you to play along. The camera movements are disorienting, aiding in an often trippy and immersive experience." So yeah, his take on like the anomalies in the film, I really appreciate. And he's in the situation because of a decision he makes in the beginning. And I will talk about spoilers. Sorry, but I have to for this. Since we're at the end of this episode, I'll just say I'm giving this film a B plus because I really dug it. I thought it was really fun and engaging and very imaginative. Okay, so I'm talking about spoilers for Exit 8. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh yeah, this is a Japanese film, by the way, if you didn't know. Okay, so my issue with the subtext for this film is that at the beginning of the film, our main character, the Lost Man, he's just called the Lost Man in the credits and in the chapter of the film. He's listening to music, looking on his phone, and he hears a baby crying, a mother holding a baby, and this man standing up starts to berate her, saying, "We're tired. Shut your baby up. What the fuck's the baby doing on a train? Yada yada." And the man, the lost man, doesn't do anything about it. So he gets a call from his ex. The ex is saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, basically." And the lost man doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if he wants to go back with her and have this child with her or just stay away from her. And the woman is saying that she'll have the baby if she thinks she'll have the baby if he comes back to her. And it's implied that she'll get an abortion if he doesn't come back into her life, right? It's implied that she won't have the baby if he doesn't come back into her life. And so during the film, the lost man ends up seeing a lost boy, right? And he turns around thinking it's an anomaly, but it actually isn't an anomaly. It's a part of his fucked up trip that he has in this movie. And we see the section that the little boy goes on with the walking man. The walking man, who was a part of the game, was actually lost in this area trying to find anomalies, but he exits too early and is not human anymore, just becomes a part of this game, right? So that's where the little boy comes from. And the little boy is like a stand-in for his future child, basically, because we see like this, I guess, a flash forward moment of him on the beach with his ex, right? And the little boy, and they're having fun on the beach, yada yada, and it plays into like a tsunami entering their in the game, and them having to deal with that tsunami, right? In this closed, quartered area. And he saves the boy, and it's a sweet and tender moment. Like I like the relationship between the lost man and the lost boy. But what I'm worried about this subtext is how it portrays women making choices in their lives, and if they do it because the man comes back into their life or not. And I'm not sure how accurate all these articles you see are about declining birth rates in Japan and whatnot. And I hope this isn't just like propaganda for, hey, go have kids, everyone. Hey, go back to your ex if they have a baby because abortion is wrong, everyone. I'm not gonna get into that, but my issue with the subtext is if it reads as go have babies with your ex if they're pregnant. I like the idea of, hey, you're not, because the ex says to the lost man, "You were so indecisive when we were together. That's what I didn't like about you." So I like that. I like that idea. I like that concept of him being indecisive and then having to deal with that during his game. And and I do like the movie, and I do like the aspect of him wanting to go back to the ex afterwards, because he says, I'm gonna go to the hospital, but we're unsure if he wants to go to the hospital just to see her or go to the hospital because he wants to be back in her life. We're not sure of that until the very end of the film. where he re-experiences the same moment of the woman on the train getting berated by the man with and her with the baby, and it ends with him. Um, it could be implied if he's just like stuck in the same loop over and over again, or if he has that decision to make to go stop it. Because early in the film, he says, "I didn't do anything about the woman getting berated by the man. How could it be a father?" You know. But he has that choice to make again, and he ends up. The film ends with him walking towards them. We have this like close up on his face, and he walks towards them. So he's gonna stop the man from berating the woman, and then go back to his ex and have the baby with his ex. So he's making decisions in his life. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got out of this game, right? Because he was making decisions to save the kid, and and that's seen as him having the kid, right, with his ex. So I just hope it isn't seen. I hope it's not. Hey, go back to your ex and have kids with them, to save our declining birth rate and stuff. Or, hey, women, only have kids if the man is going to come back in your life. You know, I hope it's nothing like that. I hope it's not like manipulative in that sense, because I did find the relationship between the man and the boys, endearing and sweet, and it was a good emotional anchor for the film in that section of the movie. I just hope it isn't intentionally like manipulative in that sense. But overall, I did enjoy the film. I liked all the moments that looked like they were oneers. I liked the moments that are oneers. Um, Playing around with the set design and the camera movements, and you can tell when it goes from one shot to the next in these moments that look like oneers. And I do think it would be funny if they just designed like a giant fucking labyrinth maze thing for the whole movie of, hey, here's zero, but then here's zero again because I didn't go, and here's zero again. Oh, now here's one, and then, oh, here, I thought it'd be funny if it was actually like that. But what are you gonna do? I'm not saying they should have done that and that would have made it better, but I just think like the actual idea of that being in like a real life set would be funny. But I think it's filmed great. It looks great. The set, it's just repeating over and over again. It looks like a somewhat clean-ish, maybe somewhat dirty subway station area. I liked it a lot. I really like this movie. I highly recommend it. Go give it a watch. Uh, I just think it's a really well made movie. I'm giving Exit 8 a B plus, and I'd really like to watch it again. All right. There is one subject I would like to talk about, but maybe I'll say that for another day. I want to get into questions. I'm glad I got to talk about my 2026 films. I really wanted to talk about those for quite a while. But I asked some questions on Instagram for a while, and I want to answer some of them. Let me just find them. I had them screenshotted here. So I said, here, ask some questions for the Slice podcast. And here are the questions. A buddy of mine who I worked with on a show, Devin, should movie remakes exist? And if so, why or why not? I'm not against movies being remade because it depends on when it was made, the time period it was made, and whether or not it could be improved on or modernized, and whether or not modernization could improve it. Um, let's take this for example, The Godfather. I don't think The Godfather should ever be remade because, more especially, what's it going to be? It's a time capsule of its place. Does the mafia have the same power now that they do then? Because if you remake The Godfather, are you going to remake it to take place in the same time period that it did, or are you going to remake it for modern days? I don't think that would work in modern days. So you just have to remake it for the old days, and then what's the point? You're just telling the same story again. And then when something's remade and you do something different, people get pissed off because, oh, it's not like the original. But maybe something could be improved upon than the original. I don't know. But I think there's a time and a place for remakes. Um, Maybe they can wait a long time for a remake. Like, how about the Jungle Book remake, the live action remake? Growing up, I had like zero experience with Jungle Book at all. I still haven't seen the original Jungle Book animated movie. But the live action remake, if you can call it live action remake, the live action remake I did see. I'm like, okay, this is fun. That's cool. I don't think the Jungle Book is this like milestone of Disney animation or whatnot. Yeah, it has the Bare Necessity song, and that's like a staple in Disney history. But I don't think people look back on it like they do like the Disney princess films, you know? So like that being remade into live action is like, okay, yeah, cool. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But then you get all the other live action Disney remakes like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Cinderella, fucking Lilo and Stitch. Why? Why do we need it? From what I heard, Cinderella at least did like some new things, and it from what I hear, Cinderella's like the least egregious out of all of them. And I hear it's actually good. But I remember watching Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But I don't think I'll ever go back and rewatch it when I could just watch the original Beauty and the Beast. I don't think I'll ever watch the live action Lilo and Stitch. Why would I? When the regular Lilo and Stitch is a fucking masterpiece. It's one of the best Disney animated films ever. You know, I love Lilo and Stitch. I don't think I'll ever watch that live action version. Snow White. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck you doing with live action Snow White? Those dwarves look fucking horrifying. Um, and with these live action Disney remakes, they're hardly live action, where there's so much of the CGI and other animation stuff going on, and it feels like there's hardly any real tangible things in there. Maybe a set here or there, but then you have Snow White, Rachel Zegler talking to these CG dwarves there. I haven't seen it. I think I refuse to see it unless I'll be like insanely drunk. Um, I don't have an issue with Rachel Zegler playing Snow White. That's not why I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it because it looks ugly. And then like it looks like there's supposed to be like this big battle at the end or something with Snow White standing up to the Queen. What the fuck? What? Is there a battle at the end of Snow White? And if so, why would there be? Because Snow White is about her feeling like her. Oh, she runs away because her fucking evil stepmother wants to kill her. She has these dreams, but she's you're not supposed to have these dreams because you're not the beautiful woman. I'm the beautiful woman. I love the original Snow White. I think it's fantastic. It can get away with the whole true love crap, whatever, because it was from the 40s. Okay, um, but it's one of the most important movies of all time. Snow White, the original, at least. And this new one just looks so ugly and egregious. And the new Aladdin, the live action Aladdin, that looks ugly too. I don't have an issue with Will Smith playing the genie because he's a big expressive guy and not as super expressive as Robin Williams. But when I look at scenes from these live action Disney remakes, they look so ugly and the CG looks so dated now, and everything looks so dark. Not like dark in tone, but dark as in like it's like darkly lit so you can hide CG, so you don't have to pay so much to do all this CG and stuff. But they're Disney; they have all the money in the world. Why can't they just? Um, are there any remakes that I like? Any movies that are remakes that I like? Um, let's look this up because that's actually an interesting question. Movie remakes. How about this? A list of film remakes on Wikipedia. Oh crap, this is a lot, and it's all alphabetized. Oh my god, no. Let's just like, how about just like regular? Okay, on IMDb, Ultimate Movie Remake List. Wait for it to load up. Um, I would say there's a time and a place for remakes of any kind. I guess it depends on the time period. Like, I'm not against a movie being remade. I'm against a movie being remade so quickly. Moana. The animated film Moana came out in 2016, and it still looks great today. Why is it being remade 10 years later? 10 years. 10. 10 years. Why? and it looks like another CGI mess. And then you look at all of the shots in the trailers, it looks so dull. The animated film looks so vibrant and colorful. Why does this look so dull? Like, is how close is the aperture on these fucking movies, on these cameras? Fuck me. You know? What? Why do they look so dark and dull? Where's the color? Where's the fucking color? It's like looking at a Zack Snyder movie, you know? Fuck me. Here. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know, it's different enough. Like if a remake is different enough, I guess it can warrant being a remake because you can do new things. As long as you're not advertising it as like, oh, the untold story, like Wonka. Wonka isn't a remake or anything. It's not the untold story of Willy Wonka, and it changes the Willy Wonka lore forever. No, it's just a fun. It's just a fun storytelling. It's just a fun movie. I like Wonka a lot. It's not a remake or anything. I do hate though movies with just like that, like a single title like that, like Wonka. I think people theorized for a long time, like, oh, after the original actor died, they're just gonna remake it, and it's not gonna be called Willy Wonka or whatever. It's gonna be called Wonka. That was a joke, like a long time ago. All these are live action Disney remakes. Gone in 60 Seconds. I didn't see the original Gone in 60 Seconds. This one is titled 60 Seconds. I liked it. I'd like to watch the original, but yeah. What else? John Carpenter's The Thing is a remake. That's a really damn good movie. God knows how many King Kong movies there are. The Father of the Bride is a remake. I didn't know that. I like The Father of the Bride. 2014 RoboCop. With RoboCop, I haven't seen the 2014 RoboCop, but I guess there are some new things you could do with it, like the original RoboCop. He's a big fucking bulky guy. Why is he so bulky? Yeah, you can slim him down a bit, make him look a little more sleek and cool. But that original design is so iconic. But does the new RoboCop, new, I say new, it's fucking 12 years old at this point. Does the 2014 RoboCop still hold that charm, or is it more gritty, I don't know. Does it touch upon all the social themes of it? But is a remake supposed to touch upon old social themes? Or can you just use it as a template? Like, can you use like certain elements of movies being remade as a template to tell a new story? I don't know. Planet of the Apes, Clash of the Titans. Oh yeah, I forgot there was a Point Break remake. Who remembers there being a Point Break remake? True Grit. I haven't seen the original True Grit. I remember seeing the new True Grit. I really liked it. And it got nominated for a bunch of shit. I heard it's better than the original. Ocean's 11's a remake? I feel like I knew that. Who remembers the Red Dawn remake? Why would there need to be a Red Dawn remake? Were there really fucking scares of Russia war shit happening in 2012? The fuck else? Oh, I forgot about the Footloose remake. A Footloose remake? Fuck me. Oh yeah, God knows how many Halloween remakes there are. The Longest Yard, or the Adam Sandler one. I forgot about that. Psycho. I remember hearing about it. I haven't seen any of the Psycho movies, but from what I heard, the who the fuck made that Psycho remake? Vince Vaughn, that's right. From what I heard, it's sort of like a shot for shot remake of it, but it's in color and it doesn't have the flair that it does as it does in black and white. So it's just kind of weird that that's a thing. What else is there? Magnificent Seven from 2016. I Am Legend is not a remake. Why is it on this list? It's based on a book, yeah, but I don't think it's an old movie. Arthur remake, Bad News Bear remake. I remember liking Bad News Bears. I think I've seen both Bad News Bears movies. Um, and I think they're both good. I swear I remember seeing both of them. Uh, Goodness. The Parent Trap, The Wicker Man, Prom Night. That's a remake. What the hell is Brewster's Millions? The Crazies, The Jazz Singer. Oh yeah, God knows how many Friday the 13th and horror remakes. Yeah, the fucking Jasons and the Freddys, those have remakes. Halloween has a bunch of remakes. Um, okay, I'm done with this list right here. Um, so yeah, just back to the question. I don't think remakes are invalid. What I think though is the time and place for them being off. I think remakes have a time and a place, and these all these Disney remakes, yeah, you can remake them into live action. Go ahead, but I don't think they're doing anything special with them. I don't think like Little Mermaid remake. I didn't mind. I liked it. Um, but have I thought about it since I've seen it? No. Um, have I thought about the Beauty and the Beast remake? No. Um, it's just yeah. I mean, like yeah, these movies are old. Fucking did the Lion King really need to be remade? I get. Like I've heard John Favreau just talk about the technology that went into making it and stuff, which is interesting in its own aspect. But from what I've heard, it's just not good. It's just Lion King, but animated, live action. Like, did it need to be remade? Like, do good movies like that need to be remade? Like, I don't think The Godfather should ever be touched, ever. Where is it? Where is it? That right there. My favorite movie of all time, Back to the Future. That should never be fucking touched. But if someone were to do it, I would do it. Because if someone were to fuck it up, I would fuck it up. I don't want anyone else to fuck it up. I would fuck it up. And what would it be? Oh my God, I was born in 2027, and I traveled back in time to 1997. Oh my God, 90s nostalgia. It's just gonna be the same fucking thing over and over again. Like I don't mind. I guess I don't mind plots being used as a template to do new things, like a Back to the Future esque movie. Um, I wouldn't mind a Back to the Future esque movie, just not Back to the Future remade, because you're not going to capture the same magic as that. Well, a recent movie did that, used Back to the Future as a template, and it's basically Back to the Future. I don't want to say what it is, but it's a movie I've seen this year that I'm gonna make its own video about that I really want to talk about because I loved it. But it's basically a Back to the Future movie, kind of, but it uses Back to the Future as a template for its crazy, wacko, insane plot that I loved. But yeah, I just don't think I don't think certain movies should be remade. Back to the Future, most especially The Godfather. Um, Fuck, we're gonna come to a time where we're gonna remake animated movies into animated movies themselves. um, Fucking, they did that with the Neon Genesis Evangelion series. It was a series, and they remade it into movies to do new things. Um, I don't know. I guess if you have a new story to tell with it, maybe. I'm not against remakes being made, just that they have a time and a place to exist, and maybe sometimes they don't need to be remade. Like The Godfather should never be remade. I've only seen it once. I remember I fucking loved it when I've seen it. It's probably been like 10 years since I've seen it though. Almost 10 years since I've seen it. But yeah. Remakes, uh, them existing is not invalid. They should exist, but there's a time and a place for them. All right. The next question. Favorite movie of 2026 so far, and what movie are you looking forward most? What movie are you looking most forward to this year? So, my favorite movie of 2026 is like a three-way tie between um Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, Project Hail Mary, and The Drama. I love all three of those movies. Those are at the top right there of the films, the 2026 films that I've seen this year. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie is fuck. It's one of the funniest movies I've seen in my life. It was fucking hysterical. I haven't seen the shows, but they explain it so perfectly in the beginning that you don't need to see the shows to understand what's going on in the movie. I saw it at the Alamo Draft House, and they were playing like clips of the show, and they're just saying like, yeah, you don't need to see the shows. It stands on its own as its own thing, and everything's set up perfectly in that movie. Project Hail Mary was phenomenal. I loved every second of it. I love the score for it. Ryan Gosling was great. I love Rocky. Great special effects work in there. Just mwah, beautiful. And the drama I've talked about already. Really good movie. Great. Just sorry. Great film all around. What am I looking most forward to this year? The obvious answers are The Odyssey and Dune Part 3. I am so fucking looking forward to those movies. Most especially The Odyssey. My girlfriend's looking forward to The Odyssey a lot. I really, 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 really am looking forward to that. And once tickets get back on sale for that, I'm gonna fucking take a day during the week with my girlfriend to go see it, cause that's a movie I need to see 70 millimeter IMAX. Let's see, where are we at? We're in May, so let's look at what's coming out soonish. Um, let's see. I didn't see the Michael movie. I wanted to watch that. I haven't seen that yet. Devil Wears Prada 2 just came out. I felt like I've seen the first one, or I felt like I've seen parts of it, so I wasn't really super, excited for it. But I think I'll watch that. What am I saying? Spider-Man's coming out this year. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm fucking hyped for that. Um, what else is coming out? I feel like there's an Inyatu movie coming out this year. What else? I'm just looking at all the list of movies, the list of movies coming out this year. Hokum. I'm intrigued by Hokum with Adam Scott. Mortal Kombat 2. Not really. The Sheep Detectives. That looks kind of funny, but it looks like a really kiddie movie. So I don't know. What else is coming out? Obsession, that seemed interesting. The Backrooms is coming out this year, and that's something I'm intrigued by. I'm very interested in it, and I'll keep my mind very open for that. I don't know though. I hope it's good, but I'm not super into the whole Backrooms lore crap stuff like that. So I don't know every single mystery or detail about it or all the characters or whatever in it. I think it's an interesting idea. I don't know how far they'll take it. I don't know what much more it's gonna be about. But I felt like Exit 8 was Backrooms already, kind of. Um, what else is there coming out? I'm just looking at the list still. Jack Ryan, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm very much looking forward to that. I love the Mandalorian show. It's great. I love Boosters. From Boots Riley. Yeah, I forgot about that. I really, really, really want to see that. I haven't seen a lot of Boots Riley stuff, but I remember watching Sorry to Bother You, and I thought that was great. This is his first film since Sorry to Bother You. Holy shit, 8 years. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks fun. Da, 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 da. What else is there? Masters of the Universe looks pretty fun. I've never been a whole He-Man thing. Scary movie, I don't give a shit about. Disclosure Day. Yeah, Steven Spielberg. He hasn't fucking directed a movie since The Fablemans. And before that, hasn't done anything since Ready Player One, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks kind of fun. But it's weird. There's a shot in there that looks like really, really obvious CG. I'm like, Spielberg, come on. What are you doing? Why did I click on this earlier? It says I clicked on this. Stop that train. I don't know what the fuck this is. Why it says I've clicked on it before. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Um What? I don't know what the fuck this is. Stop that. What is this? Written ensemble cast including drag performers Ginger Minge, Juju B, and RuPaul Charles. I have no idea what the hell this is about. There's not even any like sort of plot description for this. I didn't notice the camera having stopped recording, so I'm gonna go back a bit. Masters of the Universe looks cool. Scary movie. I don't care. Disclosure Day looks fun. Stop that train. I have no idea. It says I've clicked on it before. I don't know why. And I looked at it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that's about. Toy Story 5. Yeah, I'm gonna see that. I'm a fucking child at heart. I love Toy Story. I even like Toy Story 4, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I like it. I clicked on The Death of Robin Hood before. It has Hugh Jackman. So yeah, I'll check that out too. Girls Like Girls. I've clicked on this before. I'm sure. I don't know what that's about. Supergirl, yeah. I'm down to see Supergirl. I'm very much looking forward to that. A lot of people are not a lot of people. I check in on the critical drinker sphere every now and then. I don't watch his videos. I see the subreddit and crap, and people are upset about Supergirl. Like, oh, she's not pretty. She's not hot. She doesn't have big boobies, and she's just not super thick. Why do you feel the need to be a gooner to every fucking movie you watch and stuff? Why does Supergirl need to be super fucking hot, beautiful, attractive? I mean, the girl who plays Supergirl is pretty, right? What is there an issue with how she looks? What the fuck's up with these people? I'm excited for Supergirl. It looks fun. Um, my only issue with that is something. Does she have a little girl character she takes with her? What's up with all these fucking movies where they have in properties where it's a character taking a little child character with them? I don't know. Jackass. I just found out that Jackass is having a movie this year. I've only seen one of the Jackass movies, and I thought it was fun. Like I remember seeing some Jackass clips when I was a kid. And yeah, that's fun. The Invite. That seems interesting. I might check that out. Getting into July through September. Monsters and Minions. What the fuck? No. Moana. Hell no. Evil Dead Bird. Haven't seen any of the Evil Dead movies, so no. The Odyssey. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most, along with Dune 3. Spider Man. Yep. Fall 2. I forgot about that. You know the movie where the characters fall? They go to like the top of this fucking tower, slim tower thing, and they get stuck up there. Haven't seen it. I don't want to. I don't want to. I just think it's funny that there's another one. They made another Paw Patrol movie. Okay. They made another Insidious movie. I thought they were done with that crap. Coyote versus Acme. Yes. Yes. Thank God this is coming out. Ketchup Entertainment, you are our saviors. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing this completed film that David Zaslav failed to fucking use as a tax write-off. David Zaslav, you lost. Idiots, that looks kind of funny. How to Rob a Bank. I've clicked on this. From David Leitch, so maybe, yeah. Why did I click on Spa Weekend? I don't know what that is. Practical Magic 2. Wasn't super hot on the first one, but I'll check this out, I guess. I don't get why they're making sequels to dirt ass old movies. Like imagine if they made a fucking Joe Dirt 2. Why? Why would there need to be a Joe Why does there need to be Practical Magic 2? Why does there need to be a Joe Dirt 2? Fuck me. Just imagine if they made sequels. They're making sequels of dirt old movies like Devil Wears Prada. I'm not saying it's dirt old, but did there really need a sequel? Did there need to be a sequel for Devil Wears Prada in the year of 2026? Like, what are some old movies? Imagine if they had Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2. You know? What else is coming out this year? Resident Evil from my arch nemesis Zach Kreger. No, I've never played a Resident Evil. I know almost nothing about Resident Evil. I don't give a shit about Resident Evil. I guess I'll play them in the future when I'm an old man probably. But Zach Kreger, um, I just don't dig his movies. I've heard maybe I just don't dig his horror stuff. His comedy, he's made some comedy stuff that I'll check out, but I don't think I dig his horror stuff. So maybe I'll skip out on Resident Evil. Let's see what else. Going into October to December. Yeah, there's an Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu movie coming out called Digger this year with Tom Cruise. Yeah, I'll check that out. I just saw like a quick clip of like someone digging a hole. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. The Social Reckoning, the fucking sequel to the Social Network. I haven't seen the Social Network. Um, yeah, I haven't seen the Social Network. I will eventually. Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender. Yeah, this just got leaked the other day. Um, yeah, it was fucking leaked everywhere. Even though, yeah, and it was supposed to be released later on this year on Paramount Plus, but people are leaking it, and they're pissed because it's not going to be in theaters, and more so because people don't want to pay for Paramount Plus because of the direction Paramount is heading towards. Um, yeah, I remember watching Avatar a lot as a kid, but I'm to be honest, I don't remember a lot of plot details now. And I swear, I remember like being so hyped for the end. Like, oh my god, the end is here, and I just don't think I watched the ending of it. So yeah, I really want to get into that. I want to get into Avatar again. Street Fighter. I have no knowledge of Street Fighter, but since I've seen Mortal Kombat, I guess I'll watch Street Fighter. Clayface. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that looks cool. The Cat in the Hat. Why the fuck are they making that? I didn't mean for that to rhyme. What else is there? Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. What the fuck? From T West. What the hell? T West is making a fucking Christmas Carol movie. The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. If my girlfriend wants to see it, sure, but I don't think I'll see it on my own. Hexed, that new Disney movie. I mean, I guess I'll watch that. I don't know. We'll see how the trailers look. Madden, maybe, maybe not. I don't have Amazon, so I don't know. Hershey, what, like the chocolate? Is this about the chocolate? Oh my fucking god, it is. It's about the It's about the company Hershey from Angel Studios, the people who brought you the new Animal Farm movie and that one movie about the pedophiles. What's it called? The Sound of Freedom. Yeah. Um, Looking back on it, The Sound of Freedom, I don't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did on my first watch. I think I was just more enthralled by like, oh my god, there's pedophiles in the world. We got to stop them. Yeah. Violent Night 2. I guess I'll watch that. I don't know why there would be a sequel for Violent Night, but if it's more fun action, then yeah. Avengers Doomsday. Of course I'm looking forward to this. Um yeah, I hope it's good. Yeah. Dune Part 3, of course. Angry Birds 3? No. Jumanji sequel? No. Werewolf from Robert Eggers. Yeah, of course. I really want to check that out. And look, that looks like it from what I can tell. I was just going through the list of all the movies coming out this year as from what's being shown on Wikipedia. That I guess American movies from American studios this year. Um, so yeah, I guess what I'm most looking forward to. Okay, favorite. Yeah, back to the question. Favorite movie 2026. Three-way tie between Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, the Project Hail Mary, and the drama. My movies I'm looking forward to the most. I will say Digger, um, Disclosure Day, The Odyssey, Dune 3, Avengers Doomsday, Spider Man, and Coyote versus Acme, and shit, I just had it on my tongue right now. Uh, I love boosters. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those the most. Okay, what's the next question? From my best friend. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? No, it didn't hurt. I had wings. For my brother, what the fuck is that mask? I will show you a picture. I will show you the picture that I put on my story right here. And I'll explain what the mask is. So my girlfriend's brother had a Batman suit made for him by her dad, and the Batman suit is the armored suit he uses to fight Superman in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And it looked pretty cool. And the mask was laying around, so I was like, oh, I'm the helmet. Let's put the helmet on. I just thought it was kind of funny. So yeah, that's what the fuck that was. Um, did I have any other? I guess not. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. Yeah, so I guess that's it. That is the end of the Slice Podcast, episode 29. How long have I been going on for? It says I've been recording for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So yeah. Um, Whoa, I haven't done this in a while. I had a good time doing this. I forgot how fun this was doing. And when you think about it, it's just me sitting here talking to nothing. So yeah. I guess that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Like this, if you like this video, tell me what you thought about the movies I talked about in the comments below. I was really glad I was able to talk about these 2026 films finally. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. So yeah, bye.